Welcome to the I Hate Rappers podcast. I'm your host, Greggy Westside.
And I'm Zach.
Your other host.
I'm the other host.
The other guy. So it's been a minute. We have a different setup.
It has. It's been. Do we want to tell them how long it's been?
Yeah, why not? What's today? May 15th of recording date. Last time we recorded, it was when we did our first little mini tour, and that was 2-3-2 or 2-2, 2-3, and 2-4.
So
it was
3 months
February
ago.
4th. Yeah. So it's been 3 months.
Yeah.
No recording. Fixing up the rest of the Westside Production Studio, which I would say is it's there. You know.
Yeah, and we're sitting right next to it. It looks really cool.
We'll throw some pictures on the thing.
Yeah, you guys will see it soon. It's great. There's clouds in there, and there's the vibes are set. The vibes are they're great. And
shout out Christian J.
Yeah, shout out Christian J. And we were recording right here with like no heat and like
this space heater on, and it was
yeah,
what, like 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50 degrees max every day, and the whole temperature. Like I didn't turn the heat on this side either.
Yeah,
which is I know that sounds like really like stingy for owner of a business and everything, but it
you
just
weren't
wasn't
using it.
Yeah, we weren't going to use it. And it's like
No.
$40 charge every month. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
No.
Yeah. So we were recording in the cold,
Yep.
and now it's not that cold. So I mean, it's a little chilly out today. It's like 70-degree day.
Yeah,
something like
chilly
that.
day.
A little chilly day in Cleveland, Ohio, and we got a little space heater on, but it's rocking on not the burning hot mode, the second, like the middle mode. Yeah. Whatever that is.
No, it's great. I'm happy to be back, and we're gonna be filming these more consistently now. So I'm officially living in Cleveland now. We have our own apartment down the road, so gonna be doing that. And
we're officially about to start working with some people in Detroit.
Yep.
The Grid. Shout out the Grid.
How'd that go? That go good?
Phone conversations went well. We
Yeah.
haven't obviously had a date set up yet or any plans, but
He's really nice.
Getting there. Yeah, and his partner's pretty nice too.
Yeah.
Only had one conversation with them, with him. 2 conversations with Sev, and I really like their platform.
Yeah.
I think it's very good for promoting artists. I think it's very good for organization and looking better. Instead of a link tree, it's a link tree but prettier.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look as ugly in a bio, so that's cool.
And they're looking to add. I don't know if it's public information or not, but they're looking to add more cities to it eventually. So
yeah, so they're looking to turn it into a database of sorts for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So sorry if we just spoiled some stuff, but we're not gonna say too much. That's all we're gonna say. But yeah, so going up to Detroit, going to other cities, we're looking to go into Indianapolis and into Pittsburgh soon. Try and get some shows out there, and just create a whole local network for underground artists. I guess I think that's the goal. Make it a little bit more affordable, a little bit easier to move for. Bro, I hate it here still. Give me a second clip. But yeah, so we're trying to make it easier for underground artists to move across cities and get exposure and everything. And I always tell the underground artists, hey, if you're gonna do this stuff, it's gonna cost money. Obviously, everything costs money. You're gonna have to pay for your expenses getting down there. You're gonna have to, buy out tickets if you need to. But if you come down prepared, it could be worth it. And you're gonna need to do that regardless of where you go. So, why not invest in this? Because it's a lot more affordable than doing a bunch of random stuff. So we have finished up, I think, 2 or 3 like mini tours now, and just been in Cincinnati for a little bit with Sam Casino. And he's been getting the promoter grind down and the artist grind down a little bit. And we're going to definitely have to get him on because there was one specific moment from one of the shows. Well, actually, I guess 2, technically, that I definitely want to go over with him. And then we also have done a bunch of stuff in Columbus since. And I found a guy down there that can just sell tickets. Best show we had in Columbus so far was over this weekend. So, yeah, it's life's moving forward.
yeah, no, and we love to see it because ultimately, when you succeed in other cities, you can succeed here, and you're growing your brand, and your personal name, and the studio, and the company, and even the DJs and the artists on the show as well. So it's really cool to see you guys going out to these different cities and doing all these different things and connecting in Detroit, for example, with people that I've known and haven't gotten to work with because I haven't been in the city. And the second they've been basically in my back pocket asking me, hey, we want opportunities, we want this, we want that. And I haven't been able to give it to them. And the second you mentioned Detroit, I was able to put that pairing together. And then I got people out in Philadelphia as well that want to do the same thing. And I mean, I'm seeing you do this stuff here in Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati. Them doing it in Detroit, Flint.
At the end of the day, it's just once you build the network, it's going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
And then it'll probably get to the point where it's not unsustainable, but it'll probably get to the point where you get dickheads in the mix, rapper style promoters.
Yeah. You always
So
will.
that'll ruin it. Yeah. So I guess let's start diving in there of why we hate rappers and promoters and DJs and everybody in the music industry. And all right. So we had this thing scheduled for Ohio University, OU.
Yeah.
Biggest party school in Ohio. If you guys don't know, I don't know who's watching this. So we had this thing scheduled, and this guy I met down there at Halloween, he was like, yeah, we put on these big festivals, blah, 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 showed me like what they do, was kicking it with him for a little bit, and we ended up, getting each other's numbers and everything, stayed in touch. Everything that he said he had done to that point was kind of like proven correctly. So I wasn't doubting him and everything. And obviously I don't lie about my shit because there's nothing to lie about because, it's all out there. I do a bunch of local shows, do a bunch of underground shows. It's nobody's not seeing that happen when they look at, West Side Productions and stuff.
Yeah.
So this guy, he was like, yeah, we got this big name coming in. I won't say who because he never ended up coming. He said like a sponsor pulled out, so like they lost like the funding for it, which I don't know if that actually happened or not, based on the way the story went. But the guy cost like $17,000 for a festival at OU for one of their fest season festivals.
Yeah,
which if you don't know, is not like paid entry. So okay, 17,000. Like I get it if there's a sponsor and everything, that's cool. A lot of stuff happens with sponsorships.
Yeah.
Just funding the whole thing, especially at college campuses. So from there, he was like, yeah, I can get you guys probably like 45 minutes. I'm like, okay, and then it was like 30 to 45. And then every day goes by and it just gets shorter and shorter. And then sponsor pulls out, big guy can't perform. Oh, but we still got this little guy, blah, blah, blah. We still got this fest. I'm like, okay, so, like, what are we doing? I need to make plans to come down or not. And it kind of just dwindled to the fact that it wasn't going to happen. And then the DJ organization there was just full of dickheads. Dude, I hate DJs. I hate DJs. There's like 5% of DJs are good people and actually care about music and, the underground scene. The rest just fucking suck, dude.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are DJs that have no experience with music production, with sound engineering, and they just think that they can do it. And yeah, I mean, they're no different than a lot of the rappers that.
Yeah, they're no different than me just going and DJing one of our shows in Cincinnati and just hitting the explosion button 1,000 times.
Do.
Oh yeah, I did that. I'll tell that later.
Yeah.
So all right, so my guys go down.
Yeah.
I don't go down because I'm not gonna go to a college campus as a 24, almost 25-year-old guy, and who's not single.
Yeah.
And party. There's no need for that. I'm only here for business.
Yeah.
So they go down. They see him. He's like, okay, yeah. Like he texts me a picture with them. He's like, yeah, they're gonna perform at my party tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then they go up to the DJ organization guys and they're like, yo, what's up? We were supposed to perform. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this ain't cool. And they were like, I don't know why the hell he keeps talking like he's doing something, but he's not doing shit for us, blah, 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 like this and that, like talking a bunch of shit. There were like 3 different organizations / people involved in it, and nobody knew what the hell was going on because the DJ organization was being a dick, and they had like technical like rights to what was going on at that place. And then the other dude was saying he was funneling in sponsorship money, even from the stuff that was pulled out. And the other guys were supposed to have a set, and the whole thing was just a fucking mess. And at the end of the day, I hate the DJs, and I don't necessarily hate this promoter guy, but I hate the situation it turned out to be. And then bro ended up hitting me with, hey, like, can you get your guys to open for this other big artist in this other major city? It'll be this amount of money. I'll cover 20% of it. And I'm like, dude, like after that shit, why the fuck would I do that?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to name his name, and if you see this, bro, sorry to air dirty laundry or whatever, but this is kind of just what happened. And this is stuff that needs to be talked about, so.
Yeah, and I mean, the platform's here if you ever want to come talk about it, because that's what we do here. We bring up examples and we learn from experiences and things that have happened in the past, and we try to help people not make the same mistakes that we've made or people that around us have made. So, yeah, I mean, in the industry, it's about who you know, not necessarily what you know. And if the people you know aren't good people, then you're not going to do business with them. So if you prove yourself and you do good, I'm not saying front load energy and effort and stuff like that, but if you do good and really prove yourself in the beginning, they're going to be more likely to work with you again in the future. Whereas if you have a very bad first show, it's kind of hard to rebuild from there. It's possible, but it's very hard. So, I mean, yeah, without knowing the specifics, like you probably wouldn't recommend him to me if I ever needed someone. Like you see how closing one door closes a whole bunch of more behind the scenes that they don't see.
And I mean, it just comes down to the fact that if my guys would have performed, I would. It would have been cool. I wouldn't really care too much just because that's my only business that I was going to have with them was performing down at OU for my guys specifically. So without that, without getting my own concerts down there, collaboration with them, like there's just really nothing. I mean, like, bro, like, yeah, I got fucked on the deal. Like, my guys got fucked on the deal. So if that happens, it's kind of just cut your losses at that point. And, maybe if you throw something and it works out one day, it works out one day. But until then, I mean, it just is what it is. I don't trust a lot of people to pull through with stuff unless they prove it. So if you're not going to pull through with stuff, I'm not going to trust you to do that again. And that's just how the world works with business.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, I'll pull up an example of what happened today. So a few weeks ago, I was at a show, and Emily ran into an artist that was at the show. And this artist has been trying to get on the show for 2 years now. Been a huge supporter of the show. On 808s, yeah. Has been liking all of our photos. She reposts like a whole bunch of stuff. Been wanting to get on our show for a long time. And so we ran into her at a show. I was at B-Side. And Emily, I was like, yeah, book her for the show. So Emily booked her for the show. And she can't make the show anymore. And so she texted me today, hey, it's a possibility I might not make the show because of my flight layovers, tours, yada, yada, yada. Is there a backup plan just in case? Didn't say, like, sorry, let's reschedule. Like, she put it on herself. And there's a lot of respect there because, like, I'm now going to take the time out of my day to reschedule her and get her on a different show because she was up front and she talked it through, whereas – like you were saying, every day the set times went down and down and down.
Just making excuses every single time.
Yeah, and like she's not saying, yeah, I'm coming, and then doesn't show up. She told me right now, a month ahead of time, yo, my flight there might be a layover issue. And there's mad respect there because she's doing photography for the SIA tour. So like, or I'm sorry, not SIA, SZA tour. And so like, yeah, so I get it. Like, things change on the fly when you're on a tour like that, so I'm not going to put it against you. So,
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, excuses are lame as hell.
Yeah.
When it comes down to, just getting business done. And sometimes excuses are valid, but a lot of times it's just like you don't even have a valid reasoning for the excuse, and your excuse is just like, oh, yes, yeah. I mean, it's, yeah.
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 I get it.
I hate those type of people.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's been going on with you and dealing with rappers and stuff?
Yeah. So, without naming names again, the one person that you don't want to have mad at you is the person that has the opportunity to really put you out there and do something positive for you. It's illegal to. I've never once asked for someone to pay me to get you on air. It's illegal to do that. I've never once had someone pay me to be on a podcast. I've never once, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a genuine person who the people that come on my show, the people that I promote, the people that I play on the show are people that are nice and chill to me, so I'm going to be nice and chill back. So, like, I see Zay's chill to me, I'll play him on my show. Like, it's that simple. And you show respect, I show respect back. And so the one person you don't want to piss off is the person who has power to do that, because I'm not going to go out there and be the type of person to put you down, but
Don't piss him off.
Yeah. So
stupid.
So if you're out there and you're wondering why you're not blowing up, it's because you're burning the wrong bridges and you're closing the wrong doors with the people that can help you. Because there's people out there that want to help you who are genuine about helping you, like me and my crew, and there's no reason to piss us off for no reason and try to cancel us and this and that. So yeah,
Come on, name the name, bro. Said you were gonna name the name. Name the name.
I don't even have the name. I blocked the name. I blocked the name on Instagram. I blocked the name on Twitter.
Whatever.
So yeah, I don't know.
All right. So, what was the most rapper thing done recent? Oh, okay. I got one. This wasn't really a rapper thing. I feel like this was a less of understanding the business end, which is still kind of a rapper's tendency to do, but it wasn't in a rapper way.
Yeah.
But it kind of bothered me, and I kind of kept talking about it to the people that were around for what happened, and which it was just a basic conversation, wasn't nothing crazy, but the people that were around and everything, and then the people around just in general that weren't even around the scenario that happened. So we had an artist that was upset because we put on a shitty show. As a promoter, you don't ever want to put on a shitty show if you actually care about the artists that you work with, the venues that you work with, and just. I mean, dude, you want to put on lit events. You don't want to put on events where 40 people show up. And we had a stretch of like 5 or 6 of those shows. Real bad. Like, it turned from going into the main stage to just a tiny stage at the bar for 2 or 3 of them. And it was a really bad stretch. And it was getting to the point where one of my main venues, I was going to be delegated to Thursday nights only until stuff started getting back on course, because I can't, risk a Friday, Saturday night on me. And everything's good now at the venue and stuff. But, we had another flop, and it was not in Cleveland. It was one of our other cities that we have just recently started working in, because, Columbus, Cincinnati, Akron, like Kent, we basically just started working in those cities consistently. So getting an artist base out there is a bit more difficult. And the one artist came up to us, and he was like, I don't think it's fair to me that I'm performing in front of like this little people, because I sold like the ticket minimum, which is a 10 ticket minimum, and there were only like 2 other people who sold the 10 ticket minimum, and there were only like 5 total artists that were on the show that were from Cincinnati. It was in Cincinnati. That were from Cincinnati and that were on the show for more than a day. And then we got 2 more on that were from Cincinnati that had been there, at previous shows and stuff. And then we had some people coming through on tour that were supposed to have more people than they did, and they just didn't or whatever. And he came up to me, and he was like, hey, like, I don't think it's fair for this, that, and the third. So I guess this is not trying to be a response to him, but more of a response to people in general, just to understand the business fully. I lost $136 on that show. Sam Casino, who works for Westside Productions, did not get paid at all for that show, because me and him will split profits. Like, Westside Productions will get a profit, he'll get paid out for working the show. He didn't even get paid out for working the show because we lost money on it, and that it is what it is. And he looked at that show and he was like, wow, like, this is making me depressed, just because like it's not a good show. It was terrible. And this guy came up saying like he would either want more of a percentage of the money from his ticket sales, if like nobody's gonna follow the rules and pay, or not pay, but sell the 10 tickets, or nobody's gonna follow the rules by doing this, or if it's a shitty show, and like I feel like I'm wasting my time. And I feel like saying that you're wasting your time, or even feeling that way, is like it's totally valid to an extent, but when you have a room like that, when it's like 125, 150 cap range, and you have a bunch of people who just don't sell tickets, there's still stuff that needs to be paid for. Like, the room was $500 for that small of a room. It's it's a little pricey, but it's whatever. We have a good relationship with the venue and everything. And then on top of that, you got to pay the DJ whatever you pay the DJ, and you got to pay like we had to pay $20 for parking every time we're there, and Renzo didn't pay $20 for parking. He found a spot and his car got towed, so he ended up paying $160 for parking.
Yep.
So,
speaking of that, is my car okay?
Yeah, your car's safe out there.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Carter's car's been sitting out there for like 2 straight days, and so, like, same spot, just pull back in the same spot, and he's been fine. But yeah, so that even without the towing being an expense, it's still, there's just like basic expenses that need to be covered. And when you sell 10 tickets, if they're $15 and you bring in $150 and you're supposed to get paid out like 10-20% or whatever, which this case it was 10%, because 10 tickets is a low amount at the end of the day. It really is. I don't know. The way I see it is, and from who I've talked to, is like, the feelings are totally valid, but you got to see the rest of the stuff that's going on around the show, and you got to understand that there are artists that aren't going to be as passionate and push as hard as you. So if you don't understand that and you can't accept that, then you should be trying to put on your own shows. And I don't want to tell him to go put on his own shows or anything.
Yeah.
But like, if you need to understand and learn, you sit down and you learn from somebody who you trust and and like has the knowledge and stuff, or you go do it yourself and fail. Everybody's gonna fail. Like, I'm not saying he would be shitty at it, but
yeah,
that show was a fail. Like, we put on a failure.
Yeah, and what they don't see as well is, I'm thinking of it from a tax standpoint. He's not getting taxed. You know what I mean? The taxes are gonna come out of the expenses, the taxes. Like, it's all coming out of the company. It's not coming out of his paycheck. He's getting his whatever. So like. There are, like you said, expenses behind the scenes that you don't see, and the same thing with my gigs downtown. So, in full transparency, say I make $20 on a show, I'm not making $20 on a show, but say I'm making $20 on a show.
He made, I think, like $12 on a show, but he sold $15 tickets, most of them on promo codes. So he brought in around $120, a little bit less than that. Yeah. And so whatever percentage point, like, we just pay out a flat dollar amount. I hate dealing with cents. So he got paid $12. Yeah. And that's because there was less than $120 of sales, like right around there. I think it was like 119, something like that. Yeah. 118.
But like you said, every show I go to, I pay for parking. Like, the parking guys, actually, me and Emily just got preferred parking at one of the venues for the first time, and I've been playing there for 6 months now. So they finally were like, okay, yeah, you can park in the back. But like, we have to pay for parking, like upwards of $60 for Browns games. Like, there's expenses that you don't see, and on top of that, like, you got to eat that day. You know what I mean? Like, so I get it. He made $12. It's not something he's gonna live off of right now. But
if you keep increasing your ticket sales and come to the venue and you introduce yourself to every single fan, and you have promo cards with QR code that links off to it, same type of stuff I've been preaching on this podcast. I know it's been 3 months for us, but same type of stuff. That's when you actually see some success come of it, and a lot of artists just are not willing to do that.
You got the promo cards in the other room. I just saw when I walked
literally have like 4,000 in the other room.
Yeah, there's boxes like that big of promo cards. So.
Staples.
Yeah.
Staples. They need to be a sponsor of the show eventually.
Staples.
Yeah. I'm going to be talking about them so much.
Most people are trying to get like a Hennessy sponsor. You're trying to get a Staples
sponsor. Dude. Staples. No, because look. Honestly, even if they just like gave me a bunch of free printing, that'd be fine. Because every time they mess up, you get your order for free. Even if they mess up a little bit, or they'll half off it to a full free order. Like, this order is supposed to be $200, and it came 2 days late. I got it for free. Yeah. This order, like, I had an order that it was cut off incorrectly. They redid it. I got it for free. Like, next day or same day or something like that. They are by far the cheapest place to print out business cards at. Yeah. By far. There's nobody else who is printing them out for even double that price for that amount.
So let's look at that real quick. So they're almost losing money on a transaction like that with you. They might be making a little bit. If they're a business, they're making a little bit, but they're losing money basically. There's days where billion-dollar corporations like Staples are losing money, and you're talking highly about them on a podcast right now. Yep. So
because they're the best. They're the best. You can get the cheapest amount of stuff from them. Yeah. And then when it came down to it, I knew they had poster board, and I spent, like $60 on poster board to finish a cloud ceiling. Yep. And, they definitely waxed me on that. Yeah. And they made their money there.
But they made it, you know what I mean?
And I had no problem paying it because they're good.
Because they're good. And so, like you were saying, with these artists and rappers on these shows, like, if they're good to you over and over again, and you're losing money on that one show that you make a lot of money, it'll be a split with them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And
on the show that I can, they're going to be coming up to a different place. Yeah, just because, like one of the dudes who you know, I've been trying to work with a little bit more closely, basically. You know, I asked him like, "Yo, come down." His name's Trip. I was like, you know, you should come down for these 3 dates. Like my artists, you know, they're not ready for the rollout for their tours, and I got all their shit either getting set up or it is set up. And I was like, you know, like if you want to slide. Like I'll take you. I got no issue with that. I think you're dope. I want to work more closely together. Like let's do this. So it took him, and bro, every single time him and Cash stepped on stage over the weekend, like just everybody just gravitated towards him.
Yeah.
Well, except for Cash in Cincinnati. What happened with Cash in Cincinnati was everybody left the room to go take their smoke break, and then at the last song they come in and he's doing this like you'll hear it. I'll play it for you today. It's fucking gas.
Yeah.
And it's this very slow song. He's just singing into the mic, and then it just switches like that into a hyper pop. And like I have a video. This dude, like this kid's face just dropped. He was like,
"That's how it be."
Bro, and like they caught attention and everything because they care about their music. They make good music, and you know they present themselves the correct way on stage. And then everybody's coming up after, oh, like let me get your Instagram, you're dope, blah blah blah. So you know, just the way you can work yourself into other situations, you know, that's the type of stuff that'll happen when you're consistent with somebody. Even when you fuck up, you can go back and you can work with them over and over and over again because you made sure to do good business with them, even if stuff gets messed up.
Speaking
Shout out Staples for business cards for that conversation.
Speaking of Cincinnati, if you're out in Cincinnati right now and you want to book me, I would love to come back. I played one show there like a year ago, and it was in actually Kentucky. Sorry.
Was it
Madison, Kentucky. Yeah. Sorry, Cincinnati.
No, I mean ours. We're in Newport technically when we go there to Thompson House. So, but it's just the general metro area.
Yes,
talk about.
Yes, the area. And it was like you were saying earlier, it was an artist who threw his own show. He threw an album release show, and he copy and pasted the format. He had 5 openers, and you know what I mean. Like, great show. I've never seen more people there. Like they sold it out. It was amazing. So yeah, I mean, I would love to come back to Cincinnati if the scene is how it was a year ago or over a year ago at this point.
I'll book you down there eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were running out of time, so great episode.
Yeah.
Let's do another night.
Let's do it.
All right.
Well, yeah.
See you in like 2 days or whatever in your time.
In your time, we're gonna do another one right now. So stick around.
Like I'm just gonna click a button and then walk over there and then you know how it goes.
Yeah. You want to do the outro?
I hate rappers,
but I love artists.
See you.
Peace.